What's up, everybody? Clayton here. Hope all is well. It's a new year. I hope that, this video is finding you well. I'm well. My family is well. Just a quick housekeeping note. If you're hearing noise, I'm trying to create some beef jerky. And I'm using an air fryer. So that little humming noise that you hear, that's an air fryer. Hopefully, when I go back and edit this video, I'll be able to take this out. With that being said, that's one of the things that I mentioned in prior videos. The audio engineer side of the house is where I'm learning and continue to learn. So all these little noises and things that come up, my dog barking, the bird chirping, and all that good stuff. Like I said, I got a huge window right here, so being able to take those things out and allow you just to hear me is something that I'm working on and becoming better at it myself. So, as I told many of you guys, I'm not a know-it-all. Don't confess to be one. I've been playing this instrument for quite a while, and I'm growing just like you. So the day that I feel like that I have arrived is the day that I need to find another passion, hobby, whatever, profession or whatever. It's time to find something different. Okay. What I wanted to do is just take a few minutes today, just talk to you guys about the mental aspect, and hopefully help somebody transition to this electronic instrument that we are playing. Okay. So I may have mentioned this in other videos. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but again, this is a new year. So let's plant the seeds now so that we got the rest of this year to develop and do the things that we need to do with this beautiful instrument that we love on the electronic side. All right. With that being said, electronics. Electronics, as you know, it comes with uh, all different types of things. And for one, when you are getting into technology, your mindset should already be troubleshooting. That should be something that you should automatically know and try to focus on so that when hiccups do or errors do present themselves, you know what to do to correct them. Even under duress or stress or whatever, and we make mistakes, we still know how to carry on and not totally train wreck. Okay. So, what I wanted to do is let's switch our mindset right away with this instrument. We know when we sit down on an electronic drum set, and you guys know this, this is trying to replicate something up here. It's trying to replicate a real drum set. So it's taking samples and trying to take those samples and use dynamics to present themselves in a authentic, realistic way. And anytime you try to make something artificial come off real, you're gonna deal with hiccups. You're gonna deal with troubleshooting. So I've done a whole video on this whole hi-hat situation, right? This, for the most part, everybody is pretty much in agreement that the whole drum set itself is fine, but the hi-hats is not replicating the acoustic version of the cymbals the way some would like. So even with that, your mindset should be already looking at this instrument as it's not real. So there's an adjustment there. It would be easier to just remove this hi-hat, move it out of the way, put your acoustic here, put a microphone on it, and then you have the problem solved. But many of you, like myself or whatever, the more mics, the real mics that you add onto this electronic drum set, you creating and bringing into noise, which I have addressed about noise. You know, like I told many of you, I'm trying to cook some beef jerky, and if you're hearing a little low humming noise, well, that's what's going on. Okay. I'm currently not in a studio where everything is totally isolated. I have to be able to deal with what I can deal with. And then if I become blessed and more fortunate to be able to get a building and isolate it, get away from the traffic and everything else that's going on, then kudos, right? So again, so the first thing we need to realize is, number one, is that this instrument is trying to copy the real deal. It will be easier just to play the real deal. The real simplistic aspect of it is that you can go buy a $200 Craigslist drum set. This is trying to imitate that. So I hope that sinks in to somebody. So let's transition that in our mindset. So with that going forward, then you need to realize that you're going to be troubleshooting from here on out. As long as you play this instrument, you are paying for the dynamics. You have to decide how much you want to spend to get close to the real deal. And you may have to weigh that option out. If you are going to be on gigs, like say jazz gigs, that requires you to use light, dynamic buzz rolls, you need to find a drum. If you're going to go electronic, you need to find an electronic drum set that support that. This kit will give you those dynamics, but at the same time, there's a price to pay. Is that buzz more important than the total picture? That's what you got to look at. Also, what you need to understand is that the mechanical aspect of this drum set will never duplicate the acoustic kit. Again, if you want to pay for those little nuances or change your mindset away from acoustic, which that's a transition in itself, but do I want to transition my mindset over to this electric drum set and not think about my acoustic? As you know, this drum set right here costs a couple of $1,000s. You have guys who add other softwares because they want the same sounds as what the acoustic kit. That $2,000 or whatever that you're spending to get this sounding like an acoustic kit, you might be able to take that money and treat your home or your room to compensate for the acoustic if that's where your heart is. I know we want this tom right here to duplicate a 14-inch floor tom. Well, for one, I'm not going to be able to get that ideal sound, so to speak, or feel, because when I play on an acoustic kit, I'm hitting a rim that's metal. This is rubber. This has mesh heads on it. So yes, it's tunable and you can get it as close as you can. But it's easier if you just switch your mind and say, this is an electronic drum set. So I need to adapt and learn this instrument. It's a whole different world. Let the acoustic side go. Let me learn what's dynamics on here. How soft can I play on this? How loud can I go without it distorting? If you're trying to record in your software, you might be able to double up, triple up on the samples and get this floor tom to duplicate what you are wanting on a drum set. Same way with the hi-hats. You have to go in there and you have to, I did a hi-hat thing where the clutch made a difference. It wasn't meant to be the fix all. One of the things that I think as well, and I responded back to a guy earlier, and I hope you're watching this video, it's hard to write something out to explain it. So my point being that, you might have to go in here and play with the settings. You might have to change your offset, the way your foot move up and down to get that feel that you want. And then you may have to change the decay, or or squeeze the decay to isolate that extra phantom noise. Or you may have to kind of like gate it to get that isolation and to control those extra phantoms. So my point is like I mentioned in the beginning, you have to learn this. You can't compare this. It's apples and oranges. Change that mindset. All in electric. So learn your facility. Learn your feel. You should already not think that, okay, well, I want this to feel like my studio drum set. No. You want to get this as comfortable so that when you're tracking with it, you are comfortable on this, not having to think, okay, well, I had my hi-hats over here and, they felt like this over there, but no. Sit down, play with this thing, get to know, get intimate with it, learn it. I added these 2 10-inch splashes to trigger different sounds. Well, occasionally I'm getting a trigger from my crash cymbal here. So there's a sweet spot that I could find if I'm really into what I'm playing, and if I'm playing really hard, it may trigger this. But then I have to think in my mind, okay, am I going to play with that much intensity all the time? Or am I going to be dynamic? Because if I set the threshold too high, I'm not going to get a response when I need it. So I have to mentally play and think, okay, make sure when I hit this, I'm hitting it lighter. Or if I turn the threshold up too high on here for the edge, then I won't get that response. So I have to think, okay, make sure I crash this hard as I can to get the response. But then sometime even then, I'm getting a phantom hit still from the 10-inch. So then I go in and I figure out the settings and I lock those in, and then all of a sudden I still get a phantom response. So it's up to me to get in here and spend hours, days, or whatever to find that right setting, lock it in, and then I don't have to worry about it again. That's one thing I could just check off the box. I'm not endorsed with this companies or any company, so what you see is what I paid for. I don't owe nobody for it. It's mine. I can do whatever I want with it. So I hope that helps somebody with this transition. It all varies. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is the right way or the wrong way. I'm just giving you options. I want to present options for you to make the best decision. And I appreciate everybody who has commented and said that my kit sound decent. And it's the Birch kit. I hope that helps somebody. Like, subscribe, join me, please. We'll talk to you soon, and hopefully I can meet some of you guys in the future. All right? We'll talk to you to the next episode. Talk to you. Peace.